are joined now by Congressman Massie and Khanna. Thank you both for joining us this morning. Congressman Massie, let me begin with you and get your response to Speaker Johnson right there. He says you've been misled. He also suggested at one point this week, seemed to suggest that President Trump was an informant to the FBI about Jeffrey Epstein. Your reaction?
Well, they haven't been misled, and the Speaker's point that the victim's safety is compromised or privacy is false, because when we asked the survivors at our event, did they support the legislation that Khanna and I have introduced, they all said yes. Now, I don't know if the Speaker misspoke when he said that Donald Trump was an informant. The lawyers for the victim said that Donald Trump had been helpful in 2009 in their case by giving them information. But being an informant implies some formal connection and ongoing relationship with the FBI. I don't know what that's all about. I think the Speaker needs to clarify that. And if it's a hoax, why was Donald Trump an informant to a hoax?
Congressman Khanna, the effort to pick up Republican signatures appears to have stalled for right now. Are you still confident you have the 218 votes needed to force a vote on this discharge position?
We have the 218 votes. 216 already support it. There are two vacancies that haven't been reported as much, but two Democrats are going to be joining, and they are both committed to signing it. That's going to happen by the end of September. But I want to just say this is not a political issue. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. This is a moral issue. It's about standing with survivors. It's about protecting children. I admire Congressman Massie's courage. I admire Nancy Mace's courage, Marjorie Taylor Greene's courage, Lauren Boebert's courage. They are standing with survivors. We have the votes. Let's get a vote this month and get the files released.
Congressman Massie, even if you pass this through the House, the Senate Republican leader John Thune has made it pretty clear that he's going to block passage in the Senate. Can that be overcome? And if not, has anything been achieved?
Well, it's highly irregular for the Senate Majority Leader to talk about legislation that hasn't even passed. But the pressure that's on the House of Representatives right now is going to go to the Senate after this passes the House. I think we're going to get a resounding vote on this, and I think he's going to be under more pressure than he realizes. He should do the right thing. You know, there are some people saying that our effort is redundant, that the House Oversight Committee is doing all the work that needs to be done. If that were true, why would the administration and the establishment be so opposed to doing our legislation? The fact is it's not redundant. Our legislation is necessary, and Senator Thune should bring it up.
Congressman Khanna, the Speaker and President Trump are saying that if the Democrats really cared about this, you would have forced release under President Biden. What's your response to that?
First of all, we did in 2019 call for an investigation. I was on the Oversight Committee. Elijah Cummings called for that. Secondly, some of the files were being released by judges under President Biden. You had Pam Bondi and Donald Trump say we're going to release all the files, and not a single Democrat then contradicted them or criticized them. It is only when they said that there's nothing there, that Democrats began to speak up and Republicans began to speak up. But again, this is not something to score political points on Donald Trump. Many of the survivors actually pleaded with him. He could be the president who says, look, I'm the first president releasing these files. No, none of my predecessors did it. When I introduced the resolution, I actually didn't even think that this was a hostile act against him. I thought this would be a bipartisan move, and I've been surprised that he has taken it in that way.
Why do you think, Congressman Massie, the president is resisting the release?
I think it's going to be embarrassing to some of the billionaires, some of the donors who are politically connected to his campaign. I also think Democrats are going to be implicated in this, Democrat donors. And when you get to the billionaire level, a lot of these folks give to both parties anyway. There are probably intelligence ties to our CIA and maybe to other foreign intelligence, and the American people would be shocked, I think, to know that our intelligence agency was working with a pedophile who was running a sex trafficking ring. So these are the reasons I think that they're resisting this. But we can't avoid justice just to avoid embarrassments for some very powerful men.
Congressman Khanna, the Justice Department is controlled by President Trump. It's pretty clear right now. Are you concerned that even if you force the release, there will be some scrubbing of the files? Democrats will be implicated and Republicans won't?
It's a concern, but the victim's lawyer, Bradley Edwards, has seen the files, as have many people who are career officials. So if they try to do something that is political, then many other people would call them out on it. You know, you can get away with things, George, you know, if the American people aren't paying attention. The American people are dialed into this. They want to know that is a country we can stand with survivors. The amount of messages I got from women who had been assaulted, who said, thank you for standing up for survivors, was overwhelming. And they want to know that we can protect our children. And they want to know that they're not two Americas, that rich and powerful people are going to be held to account for assaulting underage girls. I hope that this actually brings us together. I mean, the new roll call had Marjorie Taylor Greene and me hugging after an emotional moment. Some people criticized me, but other people said the survivors are actually bringing this country together around fundamental values.
Thank you both for your time this morning.